What's up guys, Benny here and welcome to my top 10 best loadouts for Call of Duty Warzone Season 5 Reloaded. There has been a bunch of nerfs and buffs to weapons that are going to change some of the guns that you want in your loadout. And if you are new around here, make sure to hit that like button and also subscribe so you don't miss out on any future Call of Duty Warzone content. But I'm going to get straight into my first loadout, which is now, in my opinion, one of the best all-round loadouts in the game. First of all, the Stoner. There have been nerfs to a bunch of the other assault rifles in the game, from the Krig to the Farah to the C58. And in the recent change where the Krig was dominant, the Stoner is now the king of Warzone. I'm still seeing too many people using C58s all the time or Krigs and not enough Stoners. Probably gonna hate saying that in like a week or two, but this is the setup that you want on it. You want that agency suppressor, of course, increased damage range, bullet velocity, that suppression as well. The 21.8 task force barrel, definitely the best barrel to have. Field agent grip, 120 round mag, and that Royal and Cross 4x scope. For me, I'm using that optic just for medium to long range, holding people down at a distance with this, and then switching over to my PPSH, which received a change in the recent patch, where its recoil has kind of just been sort of not changed, but adjusted from a viewpoint, so you can actually see where your bullets are going. It feels a lot cleaner, a lot easier to use, and it's got one of the highest damage outputs per mag in the entire game. And I love this build, and everyone I get to use this when playing with them, whether it's on Verdansk or on Rebirth, they end up loving it as well and go like, why have I not used this until now? But the Groove Suppressor is not what I personally use. I use the Sound Suppressor on there, just for that faster sprint to fire and aim down sight speed, because the PPSH is kind of that hybrid between an assault rifle and SMG, and you need to make sure that you're getting your shots off quickly. Then Tiger Team Spotlight, Spetsnaz PKM stock, so you've got the strafe speed. Then you've got the Bruiser Grip for additional movement speed. And hip fire accuracy, and then the 71 round mag just allows you to effectively spray and pray. And if someone's pushing you, you can pre-fire comfortably, knowing you've got enough bullets to be able to use to take them down, whether it's 1, 2, 3, or even 4 opponents. It is ridiculous, but I love this SMG. But that's kind of my favorite loadout in the game right now. Definitely go ahead and use that. Then the second class we've got is a Swiss with the Groza, which received quite a big buff, and no one really uses it, and I think that will also change with Season 5 Reloaded. But the Swiss, undisputed best sniper in the game right now. Spent some time using the Kar 98 with the patch just to kind of compare, and it's night and day. The Swiss is king. Groove Suppressor, 24.9 combat recon, 5 MW laser, Bruiser Grip, and the Serpent Grip. Then we've got the Groza, where I use the Groove Suppressor, the 16.5 CMV mil spec, the Spetsnaz speed grip, 45 round drum, and the PKM stock for that kind of additional strafe speed. And of course, with rotational aim assist being so big, it's just easy to keep tracking your targets at close range. Now, another thing, if you still find that your aim down sight and sprint to fire isn't fast enough, don't use the Serpent Wrap because that got nerfed. Just switch your Groove Suppressor to the regular suppressor. Kind of makes sense because yes, it drops your effective damage range down, but it's an assault rifle at heart anyway, so that initial distance you're going to be using the Groza works perfectly. So this is kind of my personal build. Groove Suppressor does work quite well as well if you struggle with the recoil control, but that really fun to use. Give it a go, but a great loadout, and as I said, Swiss is overpowered right now. The third is the C58 with the Otis. The C58 is now the best assault rifle in Warzone, in my opinion. The Krig has dropped down a rank to rank 2, maybe actually rank 3, and the C58 has come up there as that kind of mid to long range assault rifle. Tricky to use, but if you learn to control the recoil, unbelievably good at taking opponents down. But agency suppressor, 18.5 inch task force, axial arms 3 times, the field agent grip, and the 45 round drum. I traditionally use the smaller mags now, just so I don't punish my aim down sight speed, so I get that extra mobility, which kind of gives you that edge in a lot of gunfights that you'll find yourself in kind of those assault rifle fights, where if you're not using a Stoner, you want that extra mobility. The Otis did receive a bit of a nerf in Reloaded, but is still probably the best SMG in the game overall, and is what you'll see competitive players running. Grew Suppressor, 8.1-inch Task Force Barrel, Tiger Team Spotlight, KGB Skeletal Stock, and then the VDV 40-round Fast Mag, because you need to get those fast reloads, because you burn through that ammo very quickly, especially in trios and quads, but definitely a loadout to try out as well. The fourth one, we've got the EM2 with the Bullfrog. The M2 has a ridiculous stopping power potential. Like, if you land your shots, one of the fastest time to kills in the game out of all the assault rifles. They nerfed the base optic, but we run an actual arm, so that's totally cool. Agency Suppressor, 25.8 Task Force, Field Agent Grip, 40-round mag, and then the actual arms 3 times. But if you want to use the M2, remember, it is a skill weapon. If you learn to control it and use it and you master the recoil of this, it's can beat anything in the game. But that's what I would say. If you are not comfortable, definitely stick with stuff like the Stoner or the C58 over the M2. This is definitely one of the hardest guns to use, but has a big payoff. What isn't hard to use is the Bullfrog, as long as you're landing your headshots. Now, the build that I've been using recently is the Grew Suppressor, the 7.4-inch Task Force Barrel, the Tiger Team Spotlight, the Bruiser Grip, and then that Spetsnaz PKM stock. Honestly, aim for headshots. You've incredible mobility and strafe speed in this with the Bullfrog. You just need to make sure that you land those headshots to get those fast time to kills. And you don't need a mag because it's got a base 50-round mag anyway. But if you do, you can ditch that Task Force Barrel and stick the mag on. But for me, right, this is kind of the optimum setup on both Verdansk and Rebirth. As we move on to the next loadout, we've got the gun that has not been touched. Both have not been touched at all, which I was very, very surprised with. The MG82, incredible LMG at mid-range. Not so good at long range unless you're mounted, but mid-range, ridiculous. 120-round mag, 125-round mag, should I say, and like has a 930 round per minute fire rate. It's effectively an LMG FAR, and some of the people that I've seen using this just pop off. So, and it's also probably one of the funnest guns to use in the game. But Agency Suppressor, 16.4-inch Task Force Barrel, Axial Arms 3 times, Field Agent Grip, and 125-round mag. Also, throughout this video, make sure you take screenshots and things like that, so you've got the classes easily accessible, so you don't necessarily have to come back to the video to watch to check them out again. But then we've got the Gallo shotgun, something that is getting banned in certain tournaments, but if you're inside a building with this thing, you will win every single engagement. Incredible strafe speed, very fast time to kill, Agency Choke, 21.4 reinforced heavy, SOF target designator, the SAS combat stock, and a 12-round tube. Best setup for it. Give it a go. Let me know what you think about it down in the comments below. And whether you're pro shotgun or anti-shotgun. Next, we've got my next sniper class. Now, the AK-47 used to dominate at close range, and I think it's one of the best sniper support weapons in the game now. Good at short range and also good at mid range. And then you've got your sniper for those long distance kills. But the build that I use, I'm going to get rid of that base suppressor. Same reason as the Groza. Use the suppressor, so we've got faster sprint to fire, ADS speed, 20-inch Spetsnaz RPK barrel, Spetsnaz grip, 45-round mag, and then the actual arms 3 times scope for that all-round builds. It's really mobile, really easy to use, and actually a great weapon to use on Rebirth as well. Probably one of the best because it can do everything. If you just want to grab ghosts off the rip or restock or anything like that, go for the AK-47. But I thought rather than putting the Kar98 as the secondary sniper, I'd actually suggest the LW3 Tundra. Very underrated sniper, very good, easy to use. Wrap suppressor, 21.9-inch combat recon, SWAT 5 MW laser, the Bruiser grip, and the Serpent wrap to wrap it up. But great sniper and a good alternative to the Swiss if you don't want to go ahead and use it. And the HDR, of course, is another option. But I actually really enjoy using this class to mix things up. Next, we've got my high mobility Mac 10. Now, I use this during buyback Verdansk, and oh my god, it is insane. Agency suppressor, Tiger Team Spotlight, the Bruiser grip, 53-round drum, and the SAS combat stock. You are on like ice skates. You move really quick. You can pull off the flanks. You can catch people unaware because they don't actually expect you to get to where you are so quickly. And the Mac 10 is just one of those guns that is super reliable. Really high fire rate, gives you a high margin for error, so you can consistently get those really fast time to kills compared to lower fire rate weapons which require you to make sure that you're landing every shot, which quite simply everyone doesn't do all the time. So really good build, great all-rounder. Give it a go. And then it's got that Stoner once again, which, as I said, best gun in the game right now for mid to long range. People aren't using it enough, and that's going to change over the next couple of weeks. I can guarantee it. We're all going to hate it, but it's going to happen. Next, I've got my M2 Swiss Sniper Sport class. That Swiss is the same one that we saw earlier, but the M2 is actually similar build, but I've changed out the 3 times for a microflex LED, and also just we need that base suppressor. I always forget to do it on my close range ones, but base suppressor just means it's really good up close, and you can kind of land your shots nice and quickly, but really fun to use with the sniper. Next, we've got my SMG Ghost class, which has got the AK-74U, which is an underrated SMG in my opinion, but Groove Suppressor, Tiger Team Spotlight, Bruiser Grip, 40-round drum, and the Spetsnaz PKM stock. A lot of guns I've actually stopped running the Task Force on with SMGs because that extra damage range doesn't actually make that much of a difference. And the bullet velocity with the AK-74U is actually still really good by default. So going for that extra movement speed that I get with the Bruiser Grip kind of helps that SMG playstyle a little bit more, in my personal opinion. And the PKM stock with a controller helps you with rotational aim assist and kind of negates that horizontal recoil. And then my final class, right, in my top 10 loadouts for Season 5 Reloaded is the C58 Ghost class. Always have whatever assault rifle you're using on the bottom here. Could be the Stoner, could be the C58, all great weapons. But those are my top 10 loadouts for Season 5 Reloaded. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. Share your own, and I'll see you next time for more Call of Duty Warzone. Thanks for watching.